What's going on, people? Welcome to the Ring Roadmap. Today we're going to talk about Sultan versus Caraballo, which happened recently. So let's get right into it. So the first thing I want to talk about when it comes to Sultan is his ability to shift to a southpaw stance in a sneaky fashion. So over here he's gonna start off facing that way, and then once he saw that Caraballo is going to move to his left side, he decided to switch into a southpaw stance. Now a while ago he was facing that way. After shifting, he now faces sidewards, and he's now in a southpaw stance. He's gonna shoot a sneaky left hand here, and then he's gonna catch Caraballo on his way out. Here you're gonna see the classic right hand shift. So he's gonna throw the right hand first, switch into a southpaw stance, okay? And then from here he can shoot a powerful left hand, which missed wildly. But this is good, number one, because after you throw your right hand, you get to smother your opponent. Okay, now from that position you can't really follow up that much because there's not enough space, but you are relatively safe from that position. So that's why he does it a whole lot. And you're also gonna see this from guys like Casimiro, Sean Porter, and some more guys who are using this kind of style, a sloppy and an unorthodox style which always resorts to smothering. So let's see this next one. It's gonna be the knockdown. This is gonna be the replay. Again, you're gonna see a classic right hook. He overcommits to it, right? And then he goes into a southpaw stance again, shifting. And then from that position, you can shoot a powerful left hand. So over here, he also was on the receiving end of Caraballo's left hand, but then his left hand also landed, okay? And so from there, it was only a matter of who had the better chin. And in that particular situation, Sultan was able to receive the left hand of Caraballo, and on the other end, boom, Caraballo was not able to take that shot, and he went down on his knees. Now, next thing I want to talk about is taking the head off the center, okay? Which is something that Sultan was really good at. So whenever he would get into the close range, he always found a way to keep his head away from the center. So the simplest way to look at this is the center is basically your head being across to your opponent's head. So over here, you're gonna see him shoot an uppercut and then keep his head away from the head of Caraballo. He's gonna shoot another left hook to the body here, taking his head away from the center again, turning his head, and then as he shoots the uppercut right there, he again keeps his head away from the center. So I want you guys to look at it for yourself and look how Sultan always takes his head away from the center every time he throws a shot. So the first one is going to be the right uppercut first, right uppercut away from the center, left hook away from the center, right uppercut away from the center, and he was able to put down Caraballo in that particular sequence. So Caraballo decided to keep Sultan at bay in the later rounds. This is round 3, and then he's gonna shoot those gazelle jabs. Now the reason why the gazelle jab is good is, I'm gonna show you first, boom, is because it enables him to throw the jab from a far distance, and Sultan does not see it coming. Because when Sultan is on the long range, one of his problems is that he stays relatively relaxed. And so whenever Caraballo decided to shoot the gazelle jab, Sultan does not see it coming, and most of the time he reacts to it late. So over there he got caught on top of the head. And then not only that, but after Caraballo decided to throw that gazelle jab, he's able to create an angle for himself, boom, and then is able to get out on the lead side of Sultan, which is the left foot. So he's able to get out of the lead foot of Sultan after throwing that gazelle jab. Let's look at this next one. It's going to be the gazelle jab once again, boom. And then as you can see there, he's again able to angle out and then pivot after he threw that one, putting himself in a safer spot after throwing the jab so that Sultan will not be able to counter him with the right hand. So he's able to pivot away here at the last second. So let's look at another gazelle jab here. He's gonna keep Sultan at bay by throwing the gazelle jab. And for most of you who don't know what the gazelle jab is, the gazelle jab is basically a jab where you step in with your rear foot first. So as you can see here, the conventional teaching is that you are supposed to step in with your lead foot first. But with the gazelle jab, you keep your lead foot planted for a while, as you can see here, and then you move in with your rear foot first. That enables you to cover much more distance, and by the time you are done with that gazelle jab, you are also able to get out on the lead foot of your opponent. So let's see this one once again. He's gonna step in with the rear foot first. Boom, rear foot first, lead foot second. And then he's able to angle out. Fortunately on that one, Sultan was able to get out sidewards. So he was able to avoid whatever follow-up Caraballo may have. So, what Jonas Sultan decided to try to do to counter the jab of Carlos Caraballo was he decided to throw some check hooks over the top of that jab. So over here he caught Caraballo with a check hook as he pulled his jab back. Let's look at some more clips. Again, Caraballo will try to shoot the gazelle jab. Jonas Sultan will try to catch him with a check hook, but then Caraballo was too close, so he caught Caraballo on his forearm. It wasn't really a landed shot, but he was able to pin the head of Caraballo, which is the important thing. You don't want Caraballo to get out of your lead foot completely, because then he can create an angle. So over here you're going to see him, and he pins the head of Caraballo with his forearms right here. And he disables Caraballo to create an angle for himself. So now to counter the check of Jonas Sultan, what Caraballo is going to do is he's going to shoot a straight left hand. So let's see how he decides to counter the check of Jonas Sultan with a left hand. So let's see this one. He's going to throw a jab first, or Jonas Sultan will throw a jab first. Or actually it was Caraballo who's going to throw the right jab first, baiting Jonas Sultan to throw a hook. And then he's going to beat him to the punch by throwing the left hand first, the rear hand, before Jonas Sultan can even land the check hook. So let's see this one once again, jab first, and then before Jonas Sultan can even land the check hook, he already landed his own rear left hand. So just see it for yourself again. The rear straight of Caraballo will land first before Jonas Sultan's check hook. Let's look at another one again. So here, he's gonna do that same thing, a left hand counter, but here it's on the inside. So as you can see here, Jonas Sultan will catch him on the left with the left hook, with the check hook, and then he's gonna pin the head of Caraballo. Now because the head of Sultan is going that way, which is on the path of the left hand of Caraballo, Caraballo will sneak in some rapid punches here, 1, 2, and then the referee will break it up. So next thing we're gonna look at is the lead left hand of Jonas Sultan, or of Caraballo, which was one of the main weapons that he had against Sultan, because it was constantly landing. So here he's gonna throw that lead left hand, because Jonas Sultan was constantly watching out for the jab. And this is why the left straight, the lead straight left hand, was working for Caraballo, because Jonas Sultan most of the time did not see it coming. So over here he's gonna get out of the lead shoulder of Jonas Sultan first, boom, and then he's gonna throw that lead left hand. And the reason why he does that is, number one, he wanted to avoid the check hook of Jonas Sultan, and he also wanted to keep himself safe from the straight right hand of Jonas Sultan, which worked effectively for him. He was constantly catching Jonas Sultan with those lead left hands. Let's look at some more here. Again, lead left hand. As Jonas Sultan decided to paw his lead hand here, he's gonna get out of there, get out of the lead hand of Jonas Sultan, and then he's gonna shoot his left hand here. This was the last round, by the way. Jonas Sultan didn't really look that rocked by that punch, but nonetheless it landed well right on the center. And I think this was the main cause of the cut of Jonas Sultan as well. It was the left hands of Carlos Caraballo. So let's look at the right hook counter to the right hand counter, I should say, to the gazelle jab. So as you can see here, Caraballo will again throw a jab from a relatively long distance. He's gonna step in with his back foot first. And then Jonas Sultan decided to counter his gazelle jab with the right hand. So we're gonna look at some of the counters that Jonas Sultan decided to do to stop Caraballo from jabbing too much and to get closer to Caraballo. Boom, so there he goes with the right hand. That was the second knockdown. Let's look at the next one. Again, right hand counter over the gazelle of Caraballo, which this one actually failed to land. But again, it's the same concept. He's gonna try to get out, here he slipped inside of the jab of Caraballo. Now Caraballo gets too close to the right hand of Jonas Sultan, and then he's gonna try to sneak in a short right hook, which failed to land once again. But it kept Caraballo from throwing a follow-up left hand, because that's exactly what he wanted to throw afterwards. He wanted to create an angle for himself and then throw a left hand after that punch. So that's what the right hand of Jonas Sultan was able to do. It disabled Caraballo from throwing his left hand as much and committing to it as much. because there's a big chance that the right hand of Jonah Sultan will catch him. So again here, the next thing that I want to talk about is the left hook counter to the gazelle. So he's gonna throw a check hook to stop the gazelle jab of Caraballo, which we've already talked about a while ago, but I just want to look at some more clips. So over there, he decided, or he didn't land that particular check hook, but it stopped Caraballo from creating an angle for himself. So over here, if it wasn't for the check hook, Caraballo will be able to angle out, pivot out here, create an angle for himself, and then throw a left hand on this side of Jonah Sultan, which is a blind side from that position. So he was able to stop that by throwing a check hook and then pinning the head afterwards. Although the check hook didn't really land, it was able to stop Caraballo from creating an angle for himself. So over here, he's going to try to do Loma style once again, Lomachenko style shift to the side. And then Jonah Sultan will stop him with his left forearm, and then he's going to throw some sneaky hooks from that position. So let's see the left counter to a shifting right hand, or to the shift of Jonah Sultan. So over here, you're going to see Jonah Sultan overcommitting again on the right hand. So let's see some things here, which he did. I think I had the wrong timestamp, so let me just make an adjustment. So here it is. Like I said a while ago, Jonah Sultan has this habit of squaring up or even switching to a southpaw stance after he throws the right hand. So what Caraballo decided to do was he decided to time him on his way in. So right there, he caught him with a right hook first. And then here, when Jonah Sultan was about to square up, he caught him with a sneaky left hook from the rear. So let's see that one once again. He's gonna catch him with a gazelle jab first. And then over here, while Jonah Sultan was attempting to square up, was about to square up, he was able to catch him with a rear hook, a left hook. And so let's look at another one. This is gonna be a clearer angle of that. Jonah Sultan will again, after throwing the right hand, square up, boom. And in an attempt to square up here, as you can see his feet, the right side of his face becomes closer to the left hand of Caraballo. And Caraballo was able to shoot a left hand on the side, or on the right side of Jonah Sultan's face. So that's one of the things that Caraballo took advantage of, because Jonah Sultan was constantly getting close to him, constantly switching, constantly shifting. And with that, he was able to time him with the left hands all night long. So let's look at the other knockdowns that Jonah Sultan was able to score. So here you're going to see him do something that Manny Pacquiao and a lot of other fighters does a lot, and Casimero even does this. So it's going to be a follow-through jab, a chicken wing jab. Even Lomachenko does this a whole lot. So as you can see here, he's going to start off with a right hand. And by throwing this right hand, as you can see, Caraballo decides to square up in an attempt to parry that rear hand. And then from this position, instead of throwing a left hook, which obviously takes more time, and it's something that is quite predictable, because it's wide, what he's gonna do is he's gonna throw a follow-through jab. So this is gonna be the same as a normal jab, but your elbows are gonna be out. So you're gonna chicken wing your arm here, and then you're gonna follow through with that jab. You're gonna shoot it like a cross, but it's a jab. Why? Because you're still shooting it from the lead side. You're still shooting it from the left side, and you're still in your stance. But what you do here is you're gonna throw it across. So it's a jab, but you're gonna throw it across, and your elbows are gonna be out. So let's see a clearer angle of that. So again here, on the first look, it's gonna look like a hook. He's gonna throw a right hand first. And instead of throwing a hook, which obviously takes a longer amount of time, he's gonna use this weight from the front leg, and then he's gonna shoot a jab. He's gonna chicken wing that arm. He's gonna tuck those elbows out, and then he's gonna shoot the jab across like a jab, or like a right straight. And then after he threw that one, now he's in a southpaw stance, as you can see. Boom. Alright guys, so that was it for this video. Thank you for watching. Jonah Sultan is a great boxer from the Philippines. Obviously, a lot of people really want the rematch for this one. I personally think that they should both fight somebody else first. Jonah Sultan should fight somebody first, and then Caraballo should fight somebody first, so that he can redeem himself. This was a great fight, close fight. It had a lot of smothering in it, a lot of counter punching in it, a lot of footwork involved as well, a lot of angles. So it's a great fight to study, and I think it's much more technical than it looks from your first time watching it. So hopefully this breakdown helped you out in understanding what they did, the strategies that they use, and how exactly they decided to execute their game plans. That was it. Subscribe if you're new. I got a Patreon. You're gonna have a lot of exclusive content over there. You can also talk to me privately. And so that was it. For boxers out there who want to upgrade their skills, definitely go there, check it out, and support me on my journey to sharing the sweet science with you. Thank you for watching. Peace out.